El DeLorean imaginario se puede volver al futuro, pegando una vuelta por Grecia, viendo cómo queda un país después de 9 años seguidos de ajuste de la mano del Fondo Monetario Internacional. Estuvimos con dirigentes del actual oficialismo griego, de la oposición, de la derecha, de la izquierda, con diputados más críticos, algunos menos críticos. Todos coincidían en algo. El Fondo Monetario aplastó a Grecia. La diferencia de matices la van a ver a continuación.
If there is any way for any country to avoid going to the IMF, this is my clear suggestion after a very bitter experience during all these years. They did not accept that they have an ideological position. They present themselves just as technocrats. But actually they embrace the most neoliberal version of neoclassical economics and the most hard for the people expression of the austerity policies that make illegal collective agreements at the national level. We had the tradition, the minimum salary, to be agreed among the social partners, not by law or by a governmental decision. They have abolished this possibility, and they have made also very difficult the agreement also at the sectorial level. So they have undermined one of the major tools that a worker has to defend his own rights. You are going to hear from IMF experts that they are not demanding concrete things, just general directions. It's quite the opposite. They are imposing a micromanagement to everything, and something that it is worse than that. They are not respecting even agreed things that they have agreed.
We have people resident in the Ministry of Finance that would work for us and give us the international experience. We had 2 people resident all the time, and there were constant missions. Every 3 months almost we had specific missions coming from the IMF to help us on specific issues like collection methodology, the organization chart, as I mentioned before, changes in the wage grid, in the description of the different positions and what they should perform.
In 2010, when for the first time we understood that IMF is coming, all the politicians in Greece were saying, don't worry, IMF has changed. IMF is not the IMF that destroyed Argentina. It's not the IMF that destroyed Latin America. IMF is something very new. IMF has changed. There were many politicians who were saying, look, IMF now has interest about climate change.
It's exactly the same they are telling us now.
Yes. It is just the same.
Has it changed?
No, neither Macri, neither Papandreou, neither the government of Ireland wanted to the political cost of privatizations, of abandoning the pensions and spending cuts. For this reason, they call IMF. IMF are economic hitmen, are gangsters of international banks.
I was President of Parliament elected with a mandate to do away with the austerity packages, to do away with the Troika, to do away with the memoranda. And this was the mandate that I served during the 7 months of my term.
You cannot resist to the blackmailing of the IMF if you are within a problem. That's why now our basic effort is in August to have what we call a clean exit. That is, not to have any more need to succumb to these conditionalities imposed by the IMF. There are some recent studies by the IMF, reports of the IMF, focusing on inequalities and admitting at theoretical level that inequalities are not good for development. This is true. But when we pass from reports to the suggested measures, it is the old IMF as usual. Always austerity, always these neoliberal measures, always deregulation, always in favor of the rich and not of the poor. I hope that never again Greece would have to ask the intervention of the IMF.
There are many things that the program mandated that were wrong, and we shouldn't have done it anyway, but we had to because of the creditors. There are many things that we agreed, and it became as a compromise, but they were the wrong things because of the compromise. We should have done them in a different way. Okay, even if we did them, we should have done them in a different way, with a different timetable, and perhaps with a different logic.
Los paquetes de ajuste siempre son una repetición cada 3-4 meses de cosas más que tiene que hacer el gobierno, más privatizaciones, más capital perdido, capital humano perdido, menos producción, más desempleo, más desocupación, más pobreza. El FMI sigue siendo no el socio más poderoso a nivel económico, pero sí el más poderoso en nivel de tratar de imponer el seguimiento de este proyecto.
El que dicta las recetas.
El que dicta las recetas, porque tiene la experiencia histórica, más de 60 años.